Hello everybody, welcome back to Diecast Garage. We're not in the studio today. Nope. This right here, as y'all can see, is a General Lee. It's my General Lee. Yeah, as you can see, it's not a 1969 Dodge Charger, as those things are in the price range of like $50,000 without the General Lee livery on it. So this is what I have, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this old thing here. I say old, it is kind of old, 2012 thing. So this thing is a Manco um, Fox, I think, is a Manco Fox, and that's what the frame of this thing is. The motor is a Predator 212 engine. Just a Predator is basically a Honda engine from from Harbor Freight. Um, but this thing is definitely not stock. That engine back there is not original. There's a lot of aftermarket parts that we put on that thing, and also we put a transmission on it. And obviously, as you can probably tell, that muffler back there is not original by any means. This thing is actually over the probably a 3 or 4 year time span has gone through some major upgrades, and I've owned this thing for about almost 6 years. Wow, almost owned this thing for about 6 years now. That I think about it, and not in this configuration, but I've owned it for about 5 or 6 years, and we have replaced the original steering that was in it. If you've watched the Banjo Kid channel, some of the early content on there before it became the Banjo Kid, I featured a video of this thing, and it did not have this steering in it. It didn't have a lot of stuff that it has on it now. One thing that I have to say is we did get a radio for it. Spoiler alert, that's just a Bluetooth speaker with just some Velcro to just hold it on there. It's not stock at all. But I wanted to have some music in my General Lee. Um, we also put in a new steering system, which is kind of a power steering for go-karts. You see this power steering system on many go-karts at your local Tractor Supply and places like that sell these. They don't sell this. They sell Coleman smaller go-karts that are a similar style to this, just way smaller, like half the size of what this is. But this thing is more closer to a dune buggy style thing than a go-kart. This thing also does not have the original braking on it. It's got, I think this thing has got disc brakes on it, which you can't see those, but it's hydraulic braking now. The engine also, like I've said, has a transmission on it, which these engines back there do not come with well, they do come with transmissions, but it's got a gearbox in it. So now um, we have neutral, forward, and reverse. And my dad and I worked really hard on this thing um, to fabricate and make this thing what it is right now. One thing that was really early on it that we had were the headlights right up front, and we put those on pretty much as soon as we got this, because around the time I got this is whenever I got interested in the Dukes of Hazzard. And I remember that whenever I asked my dad, "Hey Dad, you know that old go-kart, that blue go-kart?" Because this thing was ugly. This thing had like a baby blue color right here and dark blue, navy blue down here. I mean, this thing was atrocious. It was a mess. The tires on the back were dry rotted. The front tires were dry rotted. This thing was a disaster. Um, and we actually originally got this to do a trade with my buddy. Well, I say trade. We were going to show this to them. We were going to buy it. Then they pay us back for it. But they ended up buying a different go-kart that I had. And then my dad said, "Well, you're going to have to get rid of one of these go-karts. Which one is it going to be?" And I chose a smaller one because this thing, even without the General Lee livery, was ugly but cool. Because it had a much more powerful engine on it than what originally came on it. Um, so we upgraded the engine. But that engine back there that we have on it, that came with it when we bought it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much just a little bit of history. And then we decided to put Kubota orange paint, which I know it can be any orange. So I actually think that this is the correct color for a General Lee, is Kubota tractor orange. And I think it looks great. Whenever you think of the orange Kubota tractors, that's what the color of this rig is. I don't want to say it's a go-kart. I kind of want to call it a side-by-side slash a dune buggy, because this thing is almost the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. In the car world, a Volkswagen Beetle is like a smart car. But in the go-kart and four-wheeler world, this thing is a tank. And it weighs a ton, because before we did all the modifications, I could pick up the bumper on that thing. Not anymore. And also, one thing that we did add on this thing is something very special. Something that was very early in the build, and it would not be a General Lee without this. And you can already probably tell that button right there. And if you're a true Dukes of Hazzard fan, you know what that button does. Yeah. So, we put a Dixie horn in this thing. It's just a regular truck horn that you would find to put in one of these. I think you could find these also at Cooter's place. I don't know if you could see it on film, but yes, we did put the Confederate flag on the roof. And all these decals where it says General Lee 01, all these stickers were customly made. It's a shop, I think, on Facebook or eBay or someplace like that makes these decals. And this thing is a little dusty because recently I had knee surgery and I haven't been able to drive this thing, and I've missed it, but I'm glad to be back in this thing. The seats are the original style seats that came in this General Lee, but they're not the actual originals, but it's the original type. The seat belts are the original seat belts from this rig. We got the choke down here. We got a little center console thing, which I'll actually get some B-roll for you and do a little bit of a walk around on this thing, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so right here you can get kind of a close-up of the interior of this thing. Yeah, I know it's kind of dusty. This thing has been sitting in the garage forever. But if we come down here, right here, we've got our, how we can put it into forward, neutral, and reverse. And we got our electric start right here. That was also didn't come stock. Or we got our choke right here. Pull it out like that. Push it back in. We got a breaker right here. Then we got the Dixie horn right here. And this center console is not stock. Does not come stock on this. Did not come stock on this thing. And also proof that we do have the flag up there. There you go. There you go. Cry about it. It's my General Lee. And also, you probably noticed that we have a big 01 and General Lee here up on the front, and people are going to be saying, that ain't original. I don't care. This is not a 69 Charger. But I think it would look a little weird without the 01 on the front. And, yeah. And also, by the way, this piece of metal and the roof right here was not at all original to this thing. You might think it's original because of how well it's built, but it's not. This General Lee is 99% fabrication, 1% original. The only thing that's really original on this thing is the frame. The steering, the tires, the motor. Yeah, come back here and take a look at this motor back here. So there it is the Predator 212 engine, 212 cc's. It's about like a 6 or maybe 8 horsepower engine, so it doesn't make a lot. With our, but with our modifications, this thing will probably pull about 10 horse. Yes, I did put the CNH 320 license plate on this thing, and this right here is what I'm calling the antenna, because as you know, on the Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee did have a back antenna, except I decided to put a custom flag on the back of this thing because it just kind of, what's a go-kart without a without a flag like that. And this is actually a piece of fiberglass. Fun fact, fiberglass, this material right here that is on this General Lee was actually used on the Dukes. Whoa, almost tripped over the tire. Was used on the Dukes of Hazzard as the glass for their Chargers. So that way, when they did the jumps and stuff, which FYI, I have jumped this thing. It lands a lot better than the Ono body cars that they jumped. But they created that so that way it wouldn't bust as easily and harm the stunt people who were jumping the General Lee. And yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. And this right here, we were originally just going to make it a straight pipe, but then we decided just to prevent the engine from having any problems, we just put a little muffler on the end of it, so that way we would have a little bit of make it a little bit more quiet, but also it has a little bit of a rumble to it, which I'll start it up here in just a second and let y'all maybe try and ride around in this thing with me. Okay, and right here up in the front, y'all might think that that's original to this thing. That is actually, if you're a mechanic, you will know that that is the ignition coil for the electric start. And we are running a motorcycle battery for this. We've also got headlights, which I'll turn those on for you real quick. Yeah, I probably just blinded you all. And that also runs the Dixie horn, and I think I already said the electric start. As you know, that Bluetooth speaker is not connected to anything, so it's Velcro for a reason, so I can take it off and charge it. So that's pretty much the entire rig, and let's get her started up, and I'll let you hear the thing. All right, let's get the old General Lee started. One thing I do have to say about this engine, it does have a generator on it. So it is, as we speak, recouping where I just started it. So let's try and get you all rigged up in here so you all can take a ride with me in the old General Lee and see exactly how fast this thing goes. Alright, here we are in the General Lee. Let's do this. Oh yeah, I have rear view mirrors on this thing, so here we go. Woo! Oh yeah! Yeah, this thing is definitely a rig. Let's test out the reverse here. All right. I'm about to stand on it. Ready? Here we go. Well, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Hazard TV. I hope you really enjoyed learning about this, unique piece of machinery here. This is the General Lee, and y'all have probably seen it once or twice, especially when we had it out in the snow and ripping donuts out in my field. That was a blast, and I'm sure we'll be doing it again this winter because this thing, for me, it will never get enough action time. But thank you all so much for watching this episode of Hazard TV. If you liked it, please make sure to like and subscribe and share it with a friend if you think they'll also enjoy it as well. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see y'all sometime down the road. Yeah!